Top Med Talk.
Hello, it's Desiree Chappell with Top Med Talk. We are here in Glasgow, Scotland for Euro Anesthesia 2023, the annual meeting for the ESAIC, the European Society of Anaesthesiology and Intensive Care. I'm joined by my co-editor and chief co-host, partner in crime, Monty Mythen. Hello, Monty.
Desiree, it's been a beautiful sunny day in Scotland.
It is. I was talking to somebody, they just couldn't believe that it was sunny up here. Is this unusual?
No, it's often sunny up here.
Yeah?
Yeah, particularly this time of year. This is effectively, because it's quite a lot further north than where I live in the south of England.
Yeah.
The summer tends to come earlier here.
Yeah.
So May, June, perhaps a bit into July tends to be the real summer.
Yeah.
With very, very long days.
It is.
Extremely
That's how I
long
noticed
days.
that.
Almost the sun never
night.
sets at some stage.
And
then by the time you get into August, which would be typically more the traditional school holiday period in the south, it's starting to get a bit autumnal sometimes.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, interesting. Well, it is absolutely gorgeous outside, so we're lucky to be inside, right?
I suppose so.
Just kidding. That's the way it always goes. But we're glad we do get a little bit of sunlight when we go out into the main hall. And we've seen a little bit of it. But excited to be here for the meeting this year. This is year 3 for us. We were before COVID, BC. In 2019, we were in Vienna.
Yeah.
And then last year, we were in Milano, in Italy, which was wonderful. And now in Glasgow. Monty, we're very excited this year for Top Med Talk to be here at this meeting. We have a new voice joining us today.
Who's that?
Well, I'm going to let him introduce himself. And it's first time on the cans. Go for it.
Great, thanks Desiree. I am Andy Cumpstey. I'm a clinical lecturer at the University of Southampton, and I'm really excited to be joining you here in Glasgow for this first time on Top Med Talk.
That's what you sound great, Andy. It's the first time I've heard you on the cans.
So Andy, we've worked
Wonderful
together.
voice.
In
We
the
have,
past
Monty, yeah.
in different guises.
We have.
Just very briefly, when was the first time we worked together?
The first time we worked together was, I won't say how many years ago, but it was a number of years ago, Monty. So we were working together in the Himalaya. We were in Namche Bazaar doing some altitude research,
Where we just
looking at hypoxia physiology and trying to see if we can translate that back into clinical practice for our intensive care patients. And I've been carrying on that work since, as you know, with Mike and the team in Southampton, and we've now got some oxygen research trials and development following that first project we did many years ago.
And recently I've been seeing you on social media, because we don't work together directly anymore, which is probably why you're being so successful. Under the,
That's not true, Monty. That's not true.
care and supervision of the wonderful Professor Mike Grocott. But you've been receiving prizes and plaudits and public applause recently for some of your research. What's it been about?
I guess, yeah, it's been a busy year. So I finished my PhD last year. Been looking at oxygen therapy initially in major surgery under general anaesthesia, kind of perioperative practice. And then when the COVID pandemic started, we kind of sidelined left slightly and translated some of that across to intensive care practice as well. So we were looking at the effects of hyperoxia in perioperative medicine, particularly in major surgery patients, but also in intensive care, looking at whether that's associated with any adverse outcomes, reviewing what trials have already been done, and starting to develop some new trials looking in that area. And so I presented that work last year at the National Institute for Academic Anaesthesia's meeting in York in November. And yeah, was very surprised, but really delighted to win the National Research Prize for it, which is great.
Well done.
Yay, that's it. Congratulations.
And I heard you present it again in Canada.
I did, yeah. So I again presented at the International Hypoxia Symposium at Lake Louise this February.
Yeah.
So I presented some of the results there as posters and also as oral abstract presentations. We were comparing different oxygen devices in theatre, different monitoring techniques, looking at some quite novel monitoring techniques which can now measure hyperoxia non-invasively, which is quite new. And I also measured some oxidative stress markers, which presented in Canada as well.
So executive summary for the people out there who want a takeaway: is too much oxygen too bad for you, or bad for you? Or do we know?
Or do we know?
Or
so
where
I think
are we?
The executive summary is we don't yet know for certain.
There's too little can definitely be bad.
Exactly, absolutely. So we know too little is a bad thing. We're starting to suspect that you can possibly have too much of a good thing as well.
Yes.
But we're still in a bit of a strange situation, really, where there's an international recommendation from the World Health Organization recommending that all patients having surgery have 80% oxygen given to them to reduce the rate of wound infections.
80.
80. Yeah, so a lot of oxygen, 4 times what we'd normally breathe in. And there's been a number of editorials and reviews and trials, I guess, challenging that recommendation since. And that all stems from papers that are now 20, 25 years old. And I think as the time has progressed and our practice has changed otherwise, the more recent larger trials have struggled to support that finding. But we haven't yet had the kind of definitive trial that convincingly proves that finding to be wrong. So that's probably where we should be heading soon, I think.
Yeah. So I definitely, Andy, over the course of the next couple of days, want to do a little bit deeper dive in that because I have lots of questions and I'm sure many people do. But I thank you for the executive summary. Excited for you to join us this time around.
Looking forward to it.
Yeah, absolutely. We're going to have some really good interviews. Some of the highlights over the next couple of days. We are going to be on the GE booth on Saturday, June the 3rd is the day. I can remember this. June the 3rd here in Glasgow in the exhibit hall on the GE booth. We have a wonderful little niche carved out for us.
And our own green wall.
It's not a green screen. It is. And thematically for GE this year is one, environmental impact and reducing the environmental impact of anesthesia and surgical care. 2, looking at making our jobs as providers and clinicians easier. So we're going to hear a lot more about that over our conversations the next couple of days. So super excited about that.
Connectivity and remote monitoring and looking at things on your phone. And all that wonderful stuff.
Yeah, lots of good stuff. And then we're going to be on the Edwards booth. So be bopping around to our wonderful sponsors. We'll be on the Edwards booth on Sunday talking about hemodynamics, Monty.
Lots of exciting hemodynamic things. Now, you might think, come on, there can't be anything new to tell us about hemodynamics. But there is.
There is some new studies that are coming out. We're going to be talking to our good friend, Bernd Sogel, who actually we're going to talk to him on tomorrow on Saturday from the Edwards booth. But new study coming out, High Protect. Lots of really good information to do some deeper dive on that. So excited for that. And lots of conversation, as you can imagine, if you're an avid Top Med Talk listener, about trial design and some of the up-and-coming trials that are coming out.
Yeah, great article just I spotted came out in the BJA today if people want to do their revision in advance of us discussing platform trials in the perioperative space.
Interesting read.
Yeah, it's good. Yeah. And a further heads up is, I don't know if we put it out yet. I did an interview we did put it out, an interview in Australia recently with one of the godfathers of the platform trial design talking about it. So there's a little teaser about platform trial design. So we're not talking about railway stations here.
No, we're not.
We're talking about more efficient ways of answering questions more quickly with regards to potential therapeutic interventions.
Yeah. So we definitely have had some conversations last year at ESA. At the ANSCA meeting that Monty was at just a couple weeks ago. Do check it out. Get yourself ready for these conversations coming up. Inform yourself at topmedtalk.com. You can listen on your podcatcher, look up platform design. I'm sure all of that will come up for you. And Monty, super excited to be here.
Very excited to be here.
Andy, thank you so much for joining us. I'm
looking forward to
so thankful that you're here with us this time and adding a new voice to Top Med Talk. It's going to be exciting.
Really great. Can't wait.
Absolutely.
And at least the views are quite nice from the M6.
Andy spent it was nice in the sun today, but it was slow.
That's one of our motorways
nice
in the United Kingdom called the Motorway 6 or M6,
yeah.
which occasionally has a little bit of traffic on it.
You paid money to be on that sitting in that traffic, didn't you? All right, gentlemen, thank you so much. We look forward to having some great conversations over the next couple of days. You can check us out. We're going to be at topmedtalk.com. Our schedule will be on there. We are going to be live streaming only on Sunday from the Edwards booth. Tomorrow for a little bit in the afternoon, but mostly on Sunday. So you can check out the live stream there. And you can always find us on your favorite social media platform, LinkedIn, Twitter. We are there. Thanks everybody for listening. See you soon.
Top Med Talk.
Thanks for downloading Top Med Talk. Don't forget to subscribe via your podcatcher. Don't forget to check us out on social media. We're on Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube. And also, don't forget, Top Med Talk is the broadcasting arm of EBPOM, Evidence-Based Perioperative Medicine. We'd love you to find out more about that. If you check out ebpom.org, you can find low prices on some of the conferences we're organising around the world. Many of them are virtual and don't even involve you leaving your own home. Check out ebpom.org now.